Welcome back, e-bikers. So today we got some exciting news to talk about on the channel because I've just recently read that Oregon is going to be adding e-bike chargers to all of their supercharging stations along the electric highway, which is basically the I-5 corridor going from Canada down to Mexico. And for right now, it is just the Oregon stretch of the highway that they're going to be adding these e-bike chargers to all of their superchargers for electric vehicles. But I have long thought that doing superchargers for e-bikes was going to revolutionize the e-bike industry. Imagine being able to ride from Washington to California through Oregon, charging your e-bike at stations along the way. It is basically going to create an unlimited range for e-bikes. There's only one problem with the current proposal, and we're going to talk about all of that today on GreenMotion. Alright guys, so I'm sure you have seen the electric vehicle charging stations popping up at places like gas stations, rest areas, even coffee shops. Now imagine that you had an e-bike charger at the same locations where you could just charge your e-bike up quickly and be on your way. So Bike Portland has recently reported that Governor Kate Brown of Oregon is going to be adding 44 electric vehicle charging stations along the Oregon corridor of the West Coast Electric Highway. But what's most exciting about this report is that they're going to be including electric bike chargers as well to all of these stations. So I really think this is a great first step. But there is one problem with these chargers going in at these supercharger stations for electric vehicles. You can charge your electric vehicle in under a half an hour, but they are actually just adding 110 outlets for the electric bike chargers, which means you're really just going to be able to charge your e-bike at the same speed you could charge it at home or anywhere else using your own bike charger, which is unfortunate. Because as most of you e-bikers know, it can take between 4 and 6 hours to fully charge an e-bike. Even if you're just going for maybe a 70 or 80% charge so you can be on your way again, we're still talking about maybe more than 2 hours to charge it. So I don't really see this being the final solution to charging e-bikes. I really think we're going to need to tap into that supercharger technology so that we can charge our e-bikes in 15, 20 minutes, even a half hour, I think would be acceptable. You could go into a coffee shop or, do some shopping in a downtown district of a town that you're in, be back within a half hour, have your e-bike fully charged. But right now that is not the case, and I can't blame Kate Brown, the governor of Oregon, because the fact is most e-bike batteries, at least all of them that I know of, do not have the capability or the technology to do super fast charge. Now you can use a 4 amp charger with your e-bike versus a 2 amp charger that your e-bike probably came with, and that will cut your charging time in half. So now you're talking about maybe 2 to 3 hours versus 4 to 6 hours. But even at 2 hours, I still feel like that's a pretty long time to be hanging around on the side of the highway waiting for your e-bike to charge up. But for the most part, the 4 amp charging is safe and effective for charging your e-bikes quicker. But when you go to anything faster than that, you really need to have an internal cooling system for the batteries themselves. That's what Tesla uses with their cars, or pretty much all electric vehicles use right now. So I don't see any reason why that couldn't be done, but it is going to be a matter for the e-bike manufacturer or battery manufacturers to actually come up with a system to be able to cool the batteries while they are supercharging at a fast rate like that. Because if you try to supercharge your e-bike with a standard battery, it just might blow up. Woo-hoo-hoo! That was a little hotter than I was expecting it to be, but you get the idea. So you definitely want to be safe when you charge your batteries. Like I said, you can upgrade to a possible 4 or 5 amp depending on the amp hours of your battery itself, and that for the most part should be safe. But we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for the supercharger technology to reach the e-bike level. But I do think when we get to that point, when we get the first e-bikes that can be charged with a supercharger and you can get those charged up in 15-20 minutes, we're looking at a whole new ball game as far as range and functionality of e-bikes. So anyways, guys, I would say this is a great first step. This shows that they are considering e-bikes now as they are placing these superchargers throughout the country. So that's a great first step, but we are definitely going to need to encourage e-bike manufacturers and battery manufacturers to come up with that technology to allow us to use a regular supercharger when we charge our e-bikes. That's just my opinion. I would love to hear your guys' opinion of these new charging stations going into the superchargers along the Oregon coast. And I would also love to hear your ideas about how we would be able to make e-bike batteries accessible to supercharging, things like that. But all right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me for a little while today. You know I appreciate it. If you have not done so already, please do subscribe to this channel. Ring that little bell so you get the notifications when the videos go up. Your comments are greatly appreciated, as are your thumbs up. They definitely help with the algorithms to get these videos out. And other than that, just have yourselves a great rest of your e-biking day. I will catch you guys right back here with a brand new video to take a look at. Peace.